Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that's coming through okay. I think I should be able to check this real quick. Sort of, yes. There are some things I want to change about that though. I recently changed some mic settings, which I need to undo. So maybe something more like that, and then I can turn this up a bit. And fingers crossed that's more what we want. Yeah, that's better. Might even go a bit further. Okay. That should be us, I think. Jolly good, jolly good. Right, I suppose I should get on with it, eh? I'm just going to check when the last time I streamed actually was. I think it was a good couple of weeks ago at least, maybe? 25th of May? 25th of May, how long ago was that? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. There we go. We're back, we're back. Eglise, our old friend. We've made some progress off stream. Off stream, there's been a lot of time dedicated to these damn buildings. And if I'm just going to remind myself where we got to by the end of last stream. I was fixing some of the outsides of buildings. I'd put floors down, I think, in most buildings. But there were still some buildings that hadn't been given floors just yet. So for example, this building over here was very awkward. Just because there are a lot of floors to this thing, and there's sort of the idea of having sort of balconies at the front, which no other building had. So we had to figure out the insides of those, and I've gone ahead since then and added more into it in terms of I think each of the floors and their stairs. Between the floors now, equally I think a couple of buildings like these had to be updated, where it's sort of in between floors, collapsed in between. I just put the same style of flooring into this building. What other buildings were awkward? I've not touched the town hall, as that's coming later. I think most of the rest, aside from this area here, is the same as where I left off, more or less. Yeah. Possibly. I have hidden a few things, obviously, just for now, to keep counts down. In fact, I can probably do that again, just to keep my FPS nice and crisp. But the big thing I've been doing, beyond stuff like this, let's show you what's this going on. So third floor, first floor. So we've got like ground floor, which is where you can't actually get into. And then you've got layers for the flooring in the first floor, the stuff for the first floor, flooring, stuff, flooring, stuff. And that's the top floor there. And these are going to be like, I think I'm going to try and cram like a studio apartment into this block. Each apartment has a balcony though, so they should be happy about that. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be crammed in there. Boop. And then yeah, I can hide most of these, I think. But same process basically over here too. So you can see the ground flooring in here. I've basically been... Oh, did I not do... Did I do the upstairs of that one? Yeah, I did the upstairs of that one, but not the ground floor of that one. Interesting. Okay. That's a bit weird. I'm gonna have to fix that. Thought I'd done all the ground floors down here. But fine. But where is... So the door is there on the top floor, and there seems to be two entrances to this place underneath. It seems a little odd, if you ask me. In fact, this whole area seems a little odd. So maybe that's something I fix first. In that I don't think I need this entrance here. And then ground flooring. I will just make that as that. Yes, and I remember last stream actually I'd not too long returned from my trip away. And I was reminiscing already to that. But yes. I've had a very simple set of weeks that have followed. First floor. So part of me thinks... I mean, I don't know what that is. It's interesting. Is that because of the floor above it? Yeah, I don't know. Guess it must be. But when you think about rooms in houses and such, you kind of want to keep the walls close to each other, in the sense that you've got retaining walls in the building. So you kind of want to keep those things intact. And I think for the most part I should be able to do that. This is quite a big flat actually. Is that meant to be all one flat at the top here? I think it is. I'm still confused as to what this is though. There's no third floor. They just go straight into roof in there. Let's go in and have a look. I think you've got kind of like an attic space in here. Yeah, I think that's just meant to be blocked out, you know. Ooh, yes. Let's do exactly that. Oh, I don't want it as the flooring layer, I want it as whatever layer this is. There we go. There we go. And then we got a big old gap in there, which I need to fill. I've been using the shape brush a lot more recently. I found that it's a bit more precise in that the way Voxel tries to use the regular brushes is actually kind of awkward in that it tries to do multiple draw operations. That looks about right. It does multiple draw operations between frames, basically. So it tries to draw on the in-between bits between where your mouse last was and where it went to, but the shape tool doesn't really do that. The shape tool knows where exactly your mouse is in relation to it being inside of a selection box, and it just paints inside that box. So it's actually far more performant. That roof looks weird. It changes the pattern. That's a little weird. But then again, where would it change pattern if it wasn't there? It's the first time I've noticed that. Maybe because this one's looking particularly odd. Maybe if I don't need that on. I mean, that looks a little better. Not massively so, I guess, but... Yeah. That looks much better, actually. There's not nearly as sticking out as much there. Although I don't know what's going on here with like that. Oh, is that what's happening elsewhere? Seems to be what's happening elsewhere. But what's this, for example? Yeah, some of this is gonna need tidying up. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list for another day. I've got basically a to-do list on. Like, I've tried to board with things I want to do in life. Finish Eglise is on that list before I die at an old age. Fix roof of blue buildings will be at some point. So my now 5 things in the list are re-add windows and doors. I've done that. All the windows and doors are in, although I'm adding and removing some. I've got room layouts. That's what I'm currently working on. I'm working on the in-between walls, so that we've got places to put things. I've got stairs, which is sort of I'm doing it at the same time. If stairs are needed, I'm putting in stairs. And then room content, that's going to be a lot of cut and paste, or copy and paste, I should say. And as of this morning, we now have this feature. This is new. This bit right here. So now when you copy something into the placer, you have the option to export it as the formats which know how to export a volume, which is, for now, just text. I'll probably add a couple of those in there at some point, but text for now. And it means that if you're just making something in a room, you can just put it into the placer, export that little bit out, and then it becomes an item in the history, so that you can select it. And it gets the name from the name of the file that you saved out, which will be very, very handy soon. Kinda necessary, I feel like. Otherwise I'm going to have to make lots of little models externally, and then, yeah, hope that they fit everywhere rather than just grabbing and choosing what I want. Anyway, that one, goodbye. And then, yeah, I was just going to put in ground floor. Let us grab that. What's that? That was painting. Fine. So the door over here is in this area. But I think that's fine. Because this is, I think, bathroom. No, bath. What were these? Bedroom? Bathroom? This is going to be living room. Kitchen. Maybe. Oh, that was going to be a separate apartment? That's a separate apartment. Okay, so these two are one apartment. Ooh, that's interesting actually, because that's a rather small space. Whereas this is a much nicer apartment. And I could follow similar principles, I suppose. I would just have to move where the entrance is. But I need more rooms in this place. So actually I think... Oh no, they get that as well. Okay. Oh, they get that and this. Interesting. Okay, the floor below cannot have the same luxury then. Yeah, because I'm only working with that down here. So let's say that I can put in a door. Let's give this some more colour first. There we go. Do all that. And I think I can put in a door there. Oh, it goes down on. Interesting. That's fine. Okay. So then paint the wall. There we go. That's another apartment into there. And then ground floor. In fact, I need to do more painting around here for the look of it. That's on the walls there. Rider. Howdy do. Well, I don't think there is. Like, there aren't exactly tools to say, hey, can you just, in this voxel world, can you just come and put stuff into these buildings for me? It isn't really a thing, sadly. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of painstaking edits. It's not quite the colour, something like that, maybe. Alright, so we've got a wall there. Got a wall there. Yep. And then that goes across. There. Oops. Although if you know of one, I suppose I'd be down to try it. I'd be surprised if there was. And then wall there. And unlike the floor below, you don't actually have that space, so it comes in here. Maybe I should like do that. Right, let's hide that now. A boutique? That's true, actually. We do have some shops in this town. Like, we've got like, actually that isn't a shop. We've got like a bar, sort of French sort of tablecloth sort of thing going on here. And we've got, I think somewhere over here, this is going to be some kind of shop in there. That these two are both shops. So there is going to be a boutique somewhere. It's just a question of where. I think I'm going to keep this bit just residential for now. But something like these two potentially could be shops. These could be shops maybe. But you're right, in actually I don't know whether it's the case in France, but at least in the UK you get a lot of sort of centre of town. Ooh, pardon me. Centre of town, the bottom floor becomes a shop and the upper floors are then available. But yeah, I like the idea of a boutique. So what's going on here? Is that because that's just above it? Still don't really like seeing that though. Let's get rid of that. I think it's fine anyway, but yeah, there we go. Yeah. Ooh. What happened here? So that's from that layer. Interesting. So it took a little while to go in here and well, that's quite a lot of accidents right there. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference because I think it's all covered by the height map. Oh, it isn't all covered by the height map. Oops. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. Most of it should be covered by a height map layer. Jeez. Shrapnel trails, yeah. Because when I was inside here doing, just trying to fill it in, because there was just a giant gap underneath this rubble, it must have, I must have hit the image box a few times. That's annoying, actually. Okay, I'll have to just tie this up real quick. The problem is I don't want to delete something I don't want to delete. This is why I generally turn the image box off. Because otherwise I may accidentally click on things that are far away from what I'm actually interested in. I'll do this off stream. Dull things that don't really make a difference, but it's just going to annoy me knowing that exists. Alright, back to building. This floor. The ground floor. So how far up do we need to go? 4 up, is it? Is it that or is it more? Only one way to find out. Yep. Oops. There we go. So that's fine. For high there. Doorway. I could extrude this technically, but extruding doesn't keep the noise, or it keeps noise, but it doesn't vary by noise, whereas doing this layer by layer does keep the noise. Oh, it does add the noise, I should say. So that's interesting that there's just gaps there. Oops. Oh, that's fine. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, there will be soon. Have you seen the overall progress on this map? Obviously I'm hiding a bunch of stuff currently, just to focus on the bits that I'm editing, but I can show you the rest if you like. I mean, when we've played this map, it's just always been focused on that little bit in the center, really. And then this will have a door somewhere there, maybe. That's on a different layer. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if you'd joined one of the streams before or not. Yeah, well, it was a couple of weeks now. Time flies. Time flies. But yeah, so door there. I guess this is living room, kitchen. Maybe actually that should be. Oops. More like a small bathroom. And then kitchen in here. And it's a good sized bedroom, to be honest, if I just make that a bedroom. And then we got a new door over this side, which I've just added, although I don't really feel like maybe I should move it a little bit, but I'll leave it as is for now. Maybe I just keep the height of it on the inside anyway. Something like that. Yeah. And then there's sort of... yeah, it enters into a rather large space there, actually. Because it's another apartment there. I do kind of like the idea of moving this door then. So let's move this door somewhere here. Let's move too far. Oop. And this will come back to being one of these. In fact, I'll probably make that into a window. Can make this into a window. Wherever that's going to. So now we've got the door there. This means I can shuffle some of this layout a bit. Something like that. maybe I do just fill this up for now. You've got it's a bit of a weird layout. Oh, this is on the wrong damn layer. Okay, that's better. Right. So this can go across. What would be in here? So if I make this a living room and kitchen, bedroom. I could have a door into the kitchen straight from the thing. I could have a tiny bedroom in here. Like put a toilet in a bedroom maybe. So toilets, bedroom, something like that. That goes through into the kitchen, and then we've got the other bedroom at the back here. I think that works. It is weird to try and think of it in terms of almost sort of architectural, what would actually go where, what would make sense. The problem is that when you start thinking like that and don't just randomly fill the buildings with rooms, you get into it's a level of detail that's just so time consuming. For most of these apartments, it's going to be a toilet, a kitchen, a living room, 1 or 2 bedrooms. That's kind of what I'm aiming for with the divides. And then if I can keep similar retaining walls between lower and upper floors, great. Oh, I say retaining walls, some walls. Because where I got to in some of these, you can see that there's stairs in a bunch of these. I think I got as far as doing this one. So for example, we got the first flooring, first floor bits and bobs. I think that's it for this area, isn't it? There's no second. Oh, there's roof space here that I might not have done for speed this up a bit. I might not have done for this area, but that's too fast. Speed it down a bit. Ooh, let's go 5. So if I turn on this, yeah, haven't done it in here yet. Although, do I need it? I guess it is quite a tall space, isn't it? Okay. Let's get rid of that and that. Give me a plane. Second flooring. Alright, start the plane on this one. Do that. Move it down by holding shift. Copy to placer. Except I'm selecting the wrong layer. It's that layer. Copy to placer. There we go. Got me one of those. So now I've got one of these, which I can just probably cut and paste across the entire of this thing, to be honest. Oh, it's one width short. Oops. Turn off that. And then that row, I think I'll just do manually. And again, this is another thing that's been rather ridiculously long in creating. Architecture is a difficult task, I know, right? I mean, Influx does it for a living, right? So there's a reason why he's good at this. Ooh, what have I done? Oh yeah. I need to move up one layer inexplicably to be able to do that. And then couple of things to fix over here. What have I done here? Yeah, I've kind of gone weird over there, but that's fixed, sort of. Oh, that's then overlapping with that, so I need to then do that. I think that's probably Gucci. Let's get back in there and just see. Looks fine from there. And looks fine from right here. FOTS. Fall of the Samurai DLC for Shogun 2, huh? I'd be kind of interested in going back to Total War. I loved the original Total War. Like, I played the heck out of that. Medieval Total War, the original, wasn't particularly my alley. Total War 2, or Medieval Total War 2, even that feels pretty dated now. Maybe there's some mods that would make it feel less dated, I don't know, but Shogun I've kind of slept on, I think. I think I'm gonna keep going with this actually. 'Cause I should. Just be able to keep going with this. In fact, because I can. I'm going to go overboard with it. Because I have a feeling this is all going to need it. And I just happen to quite like the pattern that I've got going in the placer right now. That's not so good there. It's better, sort of. But I figured do it in big swathes. Probably better off for me. And I would say it's unlikely that people will notice the extra patterns going involved here, the repeating patterns. It's not that obvious, is it? I don't know. And then the height of these ones changes, so that's where I stopped. Like Shogun 2, let's have a look. 25 quid still, wow. Wait, are these turtle ships? No. Interesting. Yeah, 25 quid, it was released in 2011, 14 years ago. Holy moly. Wait, do they actually have actual videos of gameplay here? No. See, that's the slightly scary thing when they do these things. Because of course you can get very nice stills which sort of show off the graphics, but it's 14 years old. Interesting, there's no like wishlist option on here, which is strange. Yeah, 25 quid's nuts. 86 friends. Goodness. If you're looking for other games to get, I've recently convinced a certain someone to finally give Hell at least a go. 'cause I'm playing it rather a lot actually in the last few days. But yeah, we're going to be playing that a bunch in my server in the near future, I think. There's a bit there, there's a bit here. There's a bit there. Is that? No, that's outside. But now, in theory, I can just raise that up. And do some spring cleaning, you know? Oop. This feels like Minesweeper actually, a little bit. Oop. Oh, I went too far. See, that would have blown me up. This is a long one. That's all good. Looks like that is just all one line. Lovely. I guess I can do it this way where I go from the furthest extent I know is sort of safe and then just stop. This makes sense. You ever been tempted by Hell at least, Aki? I'm not sure whether Ryder you'd enjoy it. It's a very slow paced shooter game. I'm only asking Aki because I know that I mean he plays Ace of Spades and that's pretty slow in terms of the feel. Hell at least is a bit more, a little slower even. It was on sale or in a bundle recently. Let's have a look. Is it still in the bundle? Humble bundle? There was a Team 17 Humble bundle very recently which had it. No, damn. It's just ran out. I think that's where McCurley got it. You might be able to get it on CD keys or something. Let's have a look. Hell. Let. What? It's not on CD keys. Interesting. Hell at these. All key shop. Yeah, around $20. That's not too bad. Yeah. But yeah, for slow-paced games, it's not bad. Anyway, keep going with this. There's a bunch over here I need to fix. I basically keep needing to do exactly what I'm doing here over and over, although I just noticed this is too tall. Nope. Debrief number 203 looks very familiar. What do you mean? Yeah, it's almost as if there was a little bit of creative overlap with this game. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. That's cool. But yeah, there is I don't know if you've seen the Figma for this. Except it's broken, of course. I had to reinstall that recently. Inspiration, just a little bit. I mean, we literally took screenshots of a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna have to look at how this stuff actually looks when I get to it, I think. Well, that's pretty successful, I'd say. The second flooring means I don't need to worry about the attic for the moment. But yeah, when we first designed this map, we literally went and screenshotted a ton of different things. There's this canal, in fact, is very much inspired by it. So like this building here, like with the thing going around it, pretty much copied. This building here, also pretty much copied. The cranes along the edge, yeah, that's similar, and we got the idea from Eglise. And yeah, like the idea of the path around the edge here. So yeah, there's a lot of inspiration from it. Let's put it that way. It's just a very easy source of visual references. And I mean, as far as copying things or creative rights, we're fairly happy that making it in the voxel medium probably isn't going to be too bad for that. Also, what? More of this. Oops. Hey, what layer is that on? That's part of the walls. Somebody's walls went awry. Interesting. Is there any more of that? Yeah, okay. Save this. Jolly good, jolly good. Oh yeah, and this bit is inspired by Edinburgh. Yeah. I'm trying to find that. There it is. Get rid of that with the radar on it. And this is all south foliage. Because like Edinburgh has a lot of this sort of exposed blacker sort of stone. The main castle's built on it. So, I mean, this is not at all the same shape as anything, but the idea of this and the sort of shapes of rough shapes. Anyway, back to what I should be doing. Problem is doing what I should be doing. I mean, just look at how many houses there are in this place. I've done this much. And it's probably been... Well, this stream is 46 minutes in, apparently. That's gone quick. Now let's go to the first floor. And we're back to the ground floor again. So, one entrance, one exit. Yeah, that doesn't ever happen, right? So I'm going to have an exit in the kitchen, I think. The other thing is, like, I feel like these houses wouldn't really go straight into the main area. Like, you'd almost always have an entryway of some kind. So actually I'm going to do that, I think. And then that will be a bedroom, that will be a bedroom, toilet, lounge diner. It's sort of more open. It does feel kind of weird having bedrooms off the lounge diner, but there we go. Probably not the weirdest setup in all the world. Oh, I haven't got the thing on, have I? Where am I getting messaged? Okay, it's a message about Born to Build. Let's enable noise again. That's noise enabled? Jeez. Let's make it more like that. That seems very subtle. Why is that feeling really subtle suddenly? Has the noise given up on me? What's going on? Okay, that's better. What's going on? Okay, that's just how the noise panned out, I guess. I don't have to paint all this stuff, won't I? To make it match. That's up there. Sure. Too light. Yeah, it does feel a bit like that. Is that poking through the flooring? No, so it is a little bit taller. What they need is the lava lamp randomness, that's what they need. We heard about the lava lamp randomness? I can't remember which company it was now. It's a funny one. Yeah, there's a cryptographic company, or like a security company, that bases their seed phrases or something like that on the position of globules in a whole raft of lava lamps. So they have like a camera on the lava lamps which detects whereabouts between the top and the bottom of each lava lamp the globs are going up and down. It might have been Cloudflare, yeah, it could have been. Probably look this up. Cloudflare lava lamps. There we are. 100 lava lamps on a wall and a mounted camera. So yeah, the globules are different shapes, and where it like exists are different shapes. It's just bizarre, really, but it's clever. Like it's clever. Because as you say, true randomness isn't exactly a thing in computer programming. You can make it appear random, but if it can be repeated, it's not really random. But yeah, it's fun stuff. That can't remember where I learned about that. Don't know if it was just a random Reddit article or what, but also I'm just realising there is no way for anyone to get up to this second floor here. So, oh, and same here. So is this a 2-floor one? Or do I just move this over here a little bit and make it 2-floor apartments? I could sort of cut it off here, couldn't I? I could face it for. I mean, granted, again, the likelihood of anyone noticing is fairly low. But doesn't mean that I won't know, so I'm going to do it. So these plans for this downstairs floor are now that. They're gone. And they never existed. Instead, this is going to be converted into a door here. Oops. And this can go back to being a wall. Like so. Kind of want to make that like that. So now this will get split into, formally, into two. Oops. Whoop, like so. You are now split, sir. And then this will become a door. And then this will need like that. This will need. Didn't mean to do that. This is the perils of shit like this. That goes like that. It goes like that. Sure. And then this becomes. Ooh, this becomes a 2er, which means the other one needs to become a 1er. Something like that. Same with this actually, this be a oneer again. Although in theory this should start one more to the right because of the... Get rid of that. Get that. There we go. Same up here. That. And then in theory, again, this shouldn't be so close, but I'm just going to do it here anyway, because it makes more sense from a visual standpoint. Okay. We're back in business. So we'll have stairs here, I think. So ground floor. Let's grab that colour. Some stairs in here. Hey, White. Howdy doody. What are we building, Randy? Well, it's a bit of a project. I'm not sure how much of it you would have seen before, if you'd caught one of these streams before, which are very sporadic, so I'll be surprised if you didn't. But this is a big old map of things. Oh, none of it. Boy. Alright, well, the entire map, ignoring this bit up here, which is in a different file that somebody else is working on. All of these buildings have been fleshed out, more or less, at least the ones not in the very centre area. And right now I am fleshing out the buildings in the middle. So I'm going to, once again, hide all these damn things, because I don't need any of them. There we go. So I'm currently working on the layers of house in these buildings here. Is it a real place? No, it's made up. It's a map we're calling Eglise because the church in the middle. And originally, a guy called Influx made this central area. All the buildings were completely blocked up. And we've done a lot of work, although some tidying needed, to get it here. And now it's kind of like the last phase of fleshing out the buildings, fleshing out the north side, which is what Influx is doing. So I'm spending my time creating as realistic a set of living quarters and whatnot that I can figure out. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. It is rather painstaking, but again, there we go. Grab that. Don't need that. Is that enough to walk up? I think that's enough to walk up, isn't it? Although no harm in giving a bit more leeway. It's roughly based on France, like World War II France, I guess, roughly. We've not been too stuck with that, but I think that makes sense. Okay, and this one, like that, I think. So, get rid of the flooring. Let's see what makes sense here. Oops. Ground floor. Is that enough? Yeah, okay. That works just fine. Although I don't want that like that. You can go a bit further, you can go in the gap. Nice. Yes, it can be used in potentially several different games. There's a bunch of different voxel games which use this kind of map format that we're exporting it as, so there's a few blocky, shooty kind of games. that are roughly based around the same period this could be used in. I'm unsure as of yet which one will have it played more or less, as the case may be. It's a bit of a futile endeavour. We've kind of realised that. For the amount of hours we're putting in, we're getting absolutely nothing in return. Except knowing that we did it. That's about it. But it will be some hours of enjoyment coming out from this, probably. That's good to go as well. And that leaves one. Ugh. I always feel like moving it. I might be able to get away with that, actually. Let's try and get away with that. That can go like that. Do you love the game? Yeah, you could say that. I mean, we used to love the game. These days, These days I'm not quite so sure how much we love it, but we used to love the game, let's put it that way. Ground flooring, right. We get rid of first flooring. So I guess downstairs needs to be living room sort of thing. Living room, kitchen maybe. Toilet upstairs. Nah, you want toilet downstairs, don't you? So maybe it's like, oh, that's straight into one of those. Small toilet, very small toilet in fact, that. Let's give it some noise again. So that's going to be the toilet. Yeesh. I mean, I wouldn't particularly want to do my business in there, but there you go. Got an accessible toilet. Well, we've got some flats which are in the alleyway with little stairways going up to them. So about that, I think the regs are kind of going out the window on this one. I'm gonna make this a bit more intense, I think. That's a bit better. So that's going to be toilet with a window, door there maybe, and then you got the understairs bit, which I'll just leave hollow. Somebody can go hide in there if they want. And then this will be the kitchen. Oh wait, there's another door. Okay, so there's already a door down here. That's fine. You can have a door in the kitchen. That's all good. Fine. UKG, UK Games Expo? No, certainly not. Yeah, this will be a kitchen entrance, exactly. I don't mind two entrances. This will be a kitchen, living room area. I know that open plan isn't exactly much of a thing in these kind of houses, but yeah. I did go to Aircon again, wait. I was there. And I might go to Tabletop Scotland again. Went there for the first time last September, and it's based in a massive hangar now. They've grown quite a bit. Yeah, it's an interesting setup they've now got. So I'm gonna make that the toilet, and again this will be open plan, something or other. Although I'm now feeling like if that's going to be a door, then this should be a door. Like so. I mean, it was back in April that I went to the Aircon, so it was a wee while ago. Feels like a lifetime ago, actually. Although I went to the expo, went to the event, and then I went off to Japan. So it does feel like a lifetime ago. for various reasons. Okay, so that's that. I think those two layout-wise is fine. Let's just check that I got the heights right. Yeah. Yeah, all good. So now the upstairs, I think it's going to be very similar in both, to be honest. I'm not going to worry about the retaining walls in this one. Ooh. What have I done? First of all. Yeah. So that's going to be a wall like that. In fact, I might just go window. I'm going to move the window. Window can be moved. That's fine. That's. There we go. Easy. It was always like that. It is like that on the other side, so I don't feel too bad about doing it. Let's do that. And then the door will go. And you make it a bit closer. Sure. And I guess this will have to be just one bedroom? Maybe a bedroom and an ensuite? In which case I don't really need the one downstairs, but it's going to be the same in both of these. Oh, that's the door though. So this one will have space to split this into two. Also, this is nowhere near as orange as I would have liked. That's better. That's not part of this. This is though. Unfortunately, with this game in particular, there is no such thing as. Wait, what? What did I put that on? Here's first of all. Oh, it's painting. There isn't exactly entities that you can put in the game. So, like, everything, and I mean everything, is just this resolution, basically. There are a few entities. I lie, there is a few entities, but what the hell's going on there? Okay. There are some entities, but overall it's just this size. So like we'll have some very, very blocky beds, of which you can see some beds. This was particularly, the mansion is very colourful for some reason. Influx went very colourful on that. Then there'll be something probably like this, a bit less in the base with like a cupboard, and that was a mint coloured bath. Reminds me of probably one of the bathrooms that I had when I was younger. What's this? That's another bathroom. I think the toilet and sink. A diagonal bed. Kitchen with a kitchen table. Yeah. So there's limited options, let's say. Limited options. But yeah, it's going to be very cut and paste. This tool I'm using is one that I've forked from the original and added some things to, and one of the features is that I can literally just select part of the map, copy it, and then paste it in a bunch of different places. So that's basically all that's going to happen. Paste things everywhere into similar rooms, and then recolour some of the things, like the bedspreads and whatnot. I'm wondering whether I should make this bedroom just slightly thinner so I could do the same thing and have two bedrooms up here. I think I probably will. So let's actually just do that. Good old friend extrude. Boop. Although the flooring can probably be reintroduced here. Sure. So now I can make this into 2 rooms. Somewhere down the middle. There we go. room. Yeah, that'll barely fit a bed, but it's, yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of foundations to do. I said this is the only stretch I've done fully. That is done now, pretty much, as far as I'm going to do for now. Although I do need to check the second flooring, that it sits nicely on top. I don't need to extend any of the walls upwards. It looks like that is fine. Smashing. But it's just a case of keeping going around and doing that for a while, really. The main reason for streaming it is partly because, well, it makes it a bit more fun for me, but also because we have so much footage now of us making this map, and it being probably one of the most detailed maps that have ever existed in the game over its, what, 14-year life cycle now, that I'm going to try and uber time-lapse it as best I can. Do a making of video of some description. That's the idea. Right, so that's that one. So here we've got... No worries, Aku. Thanks for popping in. I do them at weird times. Like Saturday mornings. But it just happens to be the good point for me. This is going to be weird. That is a weird little tunnel thing. Which I don't like it. Let's fix some of this. Oops. Okay. Is that part of the structure of it? Yes, it is. That's a bit unfortunate. Half tempted just to block this up completely. I think I'm going to have to do that to some degree anyway. At least have to do that. Because the next layer on there is going to be the walls, I think, or the floors. First flooring. Yeah, see, that isn't tall enough. Which means I'd need to... I mean, how useful is that right there? Love this tool. Do that. Remove that and that. And that. What is going on here? Well, that ain't tall enough. So this all needs changing. Lovely. In fact, you know what? What I should do is I should use my brand new export place content. I'm making doodads. I'm going to call this wood floor 1. And hopefully this means I won't lose it. And then that part of that, yes. So this section here. I don't know what's going on underneath here actually. Let's fill this in real quick. Oops. Okay, and then How far do I need to go up? A few more blocks. Maybe I'll make it over there instead. Fine. This needs to go, oops, up there, and then up to there. Yeah, that was nice. I like that. This This needs to go out like that. I don't want the noise on it. Those are fine. That's now fine. Oops. There we go. Fixed. What's the roof like here? Could make that. That looks a bit weird. It's part of the roof, isn't it? Yeah. Is it over there? What's going on with that? Walls. Sure. Fine. Get rid of roof. Yeah, that bit's still going to be very weird. I guess I'll have to... Like, you've got an upstairs entrance to it, but the downstairs... I guess it's not so bad, actually. Maybe I should start around here first. I can fit a flat in there. I think. So that space there has a flat in it. Yes, door there. So this would just be a downstairs flat. So once again, toilet's quite small. Although that's going to be an awkward room. Oh, actually, it's a very awkward space, isn't it? That's a very long, thin room. It's going to have to be here, isn't it? To be honest. That's going to be the level of the floor up there. Because this could be 2 bedrooms, I think. Or a bedroom and a bathroom. And then on the left here, on the other side. Actually, yeah, bedroom bathroom's probably fine. And then... Sure. That's probably a fine layout. Your kitchen, living room sort of area there. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be alright. This side is the more interesting one. So you've got... Let's make this a wall. And make this a wall. It's going to have to be just some kind of step up into it. Which is fine. I'm fine with that. I guess this could be like a bedroom. There isn't any native way of getting up here. So I guess on the downstairs we'll have to provide stairs going up. Can that move? That could move. So let's move that a few blocks. Like that. The problem is I don't want the stairs here, do I? I want the stairs at the back. Eesh. Maybe at the back. Because if I'm doing that Maybe I can just move the door. Probably just move the door over here, can't I? Sure. And then remove this slot. No worries, Wade. In autumn. Well, I said there's a Scottish one in September, but that's the only one I'm planning on. And then it's aircon every April as always. But yeah, or there's you could come see in July if you're free mid-July for Epic Land. A few options there. But no worries either way, I'll catch you around. Double thing, all fun. Anyway, enjoy yourself. Have a good weekend. Interesting. Early August. Oh, okay. Oh, there's Aircon Northwest, I suppose. I might be going to that as well. That's mid-August in Manchester. But yeah, we'll figure out a way. I need a hotkey for doing that, really, don't I? Right, that's first flooring, and then ground floor. So I need to get up to there. Oh, that's fine, look at that. Easy. Cupboard in there, why not? Yeah. Sweet. Right, and then this place. Needs more windows on the walls. There we go. This looks kind of weird now. Yeah, looks all good. And then ground floor. Although this could just be walls, I guess. No, not that colour. There we go. Okay, so now we've got, I think all of these buildings are kind of interesting. Why did that not move? That's part of the flooring. That's strange. Anyway. Do I need to go off a block? I do need to go off a block. That's fine. Oops. What is that? It's an invasion of the wrong colour. Wait, do I need to fit and upstairs into here as well. I do, don't I? So let's put that in, I guess, and see where that pops out. Start that. Sure. That'll do. This one I might just fill in because it's really too small to have anything in it. Where am I? Okay. That's going up. We've got a door around there, we've got a door across there. I need some windows in this place, that's for sure. I could just mirror the positions from the other side. Oop. Which is there. Oops. Maybe. Oops. Like so. Sure, that's fine. Window in there, window in here. Okay. And I guess I'll just do the same over here, why not? One right on the edge. The edge one I'm not sure how much I like. That's better. So now it goes up to the next floor. I'd split out both these areas. That's flooring. I've already got that there, which is fine. I mean, this is probably just one room, isn't it? But that's above the door. Let's just do that. Why not? So first floor. Of course, it's going to be the same over here. But I'll just cheat. I'll just cheat, why not? That'll just be the entranceway. Fuck it. Yes, there's a window in the entranceway. This will be a bedroom, that'll be a bedroom. So that place is a 2-bedroom place, this one. Probably also the same, to be honest. We just partition that there. Give it a couple of doors. Voila. Send that up to there. We're now onto the corner house. How long have we been going? Hour and a half now. So it was only a minute ago that I said I was 46 minutes in. What happened? What happened? Oh. That's wild. There's so much to do. And I thought putting floors down and all these took time. Just look at this. It's not like it's work that I can zone out of at all. Like I really have to be invested in what I'm doing here. Wait, what? So I've got up to this. These are dividing walls that I've put in. Yeah, I can break that. I can break that, that's fine. Add more walls in. Ground floor walls. Let's add walls in there. So that's actually where I'm going to end it. First flooring can just have... Of course, this layer. It needs that extra space for sure. Why is that so pale? That's still rather pale. So this one gonna have the toilet straight ahead. Oh, I don't want it on that layer. I want it on this layer. Hey. So that's toilet, kitchen and lounge. And then 2 bedrooms. All fittable in there. What layer is that on? That's on ground floor. The hell? I've got a weird mix when it comes to these walls as to which ones are on which layers. And to be honest, I should be able to combine a bunch of these layers together. I don't know why I haven't really already. I guess it's sometimes useful to just get rid of the floors and not the walls and the floors with it. And at some point, those floor, not flooring layers will have a ton of extra stuff in all the doodads. Anyway, is that all I need for now? I think so. So get rid of that, get rid of that. And then this. We'll probably go as far as at least this corner, I would think. I feel like walls there. Oops. Cool. And then this. have those. So what have we got now? We've got this space, but it's only the downstairs here. I mean, this could just be one big one, but it seems a bit weird. The upstairs of this one is taken up by the other flat. So I feel like we do that. So it just becomes one of those. And then they come in through that door. Like that. And this is a sort of bigger flat down here. Well, with a door here. I think the door has to go. Becomes that. Which is fine because I've got this over here, so this is like a How does this one gain the upstairs of this one then? It's kind of like it's a constant spiral going on down here. That's meant to be a doorway to the bottom of that one. I mean, this is a good sized downstairs flat really, isn't it? I kind of want to get back into some uniform shape because otherwise all these sharing walls and everything just gets a bit much. But I think that is the case here. We're on the first floor. We do that. That's meant to be the entrance to it here. So if that's gaining that bit. This needs to be one flat, so that's a fine size for one flat down there. Up until that point there. It's going to happen again though, isn't it? Because it's right next to that, so I can't actually move it. This is painful. Okay, that does cover it up good. It's all because of these little bits like this that just make some houses too small or too big, and then I got into this pattern of extending things out. I don't like it. I've got to stop it, basically. I have got to make a ridiculously small apartment somewhere. Right, I'm drawing a line. The line is there. Yeah, so upstairs is owned by this place and downstairs is owned by this place. But I am going to add in some stairs upwards, I think. It's just a question of where makes sense. Diagonal stairs. Ooh. Could get fancy. Although a little awkward to climb up. Look. Sure. Let's give this a go. Alright. Diagonal stairs, why not? Ooh, this might get a bit messy a bit quick. Is that onto the next floor? That's onto the next floor. That's not terrible. I'll give you something like that there. Yeah. I mean, that kind of works. Do that. Sure. And then first flooring just continues up from that. Although first flooring needs a bit of leeway, I think, somehow. That should work, though. Diagonal stairs. There we go. Getting fancy. Okay, so this is just this bit here, so although that window is going to be annoying. Because how do I separate these rooms? Maybe I just say fuck you window, and then I do this. When's the last time you said fuck you to a window? Ooh. And I'm gonna do this with that. It's a nice corner window. Then this. Well, it's rather big, isn't it? Maybe this is one with an ensuite. So it's like, that. That seems too big though. The problem is this damn window. And that's a rather big window across there as well. This is an awkward layout. Also, why am I on the walls layout? That layout one. Well, I think this bit was fine. If I can fit two entrances here. Yeah, there we go. Maybe that was the answer all along. I convert it into a corridor here. With then, yeah, that's it. The door here. A door here. That's the ticket. Just a little bit more space, I guess. There you go. That's going to feel very cramped down there, but hopefully that's alright. I'll have to test that at some point. So that's first floor, ground floor of this place. So they've got the room there. That's not too bad. They could do with a toilet room, which I guess could be this area here. Sure. Toilet under the stairs, I guess. Might look a bit weird in there. There we go. Stretch. Quite tired this weekend. Tired and achy. I've started trying to pick up football again. Last week was the first time in 4 or 5 years. And 4 or 5 years ago, I only did it for one session. And then you need to go back another 4 or 5 years. Till university. Futsal. That was the last time I played football, really. With any kind of schedule. But my fitness right now is not as good. Or maybe it never was that good, but because I was younger, I could sort of get away with it. Now, not so much. Actually, what the hell is all this space going to be? Do I put a downstairs bedroom in? What do I do? Maybe it's just kitchen, dining, and then a big lounge. It'll be a nice size, this one. And this has got 2 entrances to it. That's the downstairs. That's got 2 entrances to it as well. So maybe I can move this then. Move that. Ah, that's opposite there though. Which I can't adjust. Never mind. Okay, so if that's got to be there. Then I guess the wall has to be. I mean, what's that going to be used for, really? I mean, this ground floor space is fine, I guess. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Is that fine? Yep. That's going to be 2 bedrooms at the back there. And then the rest of it's fine, isn't it? I'll need a bathroom, I guess. What is that? Is that meant to be a window? It's not anymore. But then the first floor needs to be here-ish. Like so. And that will be one apartment over there. There's some windows, interesting. Lots of them. Lots and lots of them. Oh, there's something weird that's happening over here. I hear voices. Neighbours being noisy again. So this has to be an entire flat, is what we're saying. So we come in there. Split it there. And there. Then you put doors in there and there. That's fine. And toilet there. Sure. And then something with the rest of it. All fine. But then you've got this awfulness to deal with downstairs. Oh no, that is just an apartment, isn't it? The first floor, let's just build that into the ground floor as well. There we go. Get rid of this. It's going to be a very thin room. Oh well. Okay, so that's going to be a bedroom? And I guess this can be as well. Oh, I do want that open actually. This can go like that. Actually, no, that can be. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'll decide on what those things are later, that's fine. First floor. So this bottom flat is literally just this corner, isn't it? Tempted to remove that door, to be honest. Door removed. And then ground floor. Let's convert this into something useful. too bad, I guess. And then a bed and a toilet, I guess. It's quite small in this one actually. And then the upper floor is quite spacious really here. But everything has to be accessible from around here. Wait, what? Okay. Sure. First floor. Maybe that could be the toilets. Something like that. It's a bit oddly shaped, but I don't mind it. So this is then kitchen diner sort of place. And then on the corner here. Can I even split this? So awkward. It'd almost be better if that was a straight line going across, to be honest. Like that. Something like that. Get rid of the awkward corner. And something like that. That feels weird. But then you'd have some nice doors here and here. Guess that's the way it's got to be. Fine. Suppose I better check the roof bits, or maybe I'll do that all later. There we go. Yeah, see there's no... Oh, oops. Inside, aren't I? No? Oh, that's the one. Okay. Giant attic. One giant shared attic around the entire building. Practically. Nice. Yeah, that's going to have to be fixed, but... Yeah, I didn't go into the roofs for that, that's kind of funny. I guess easy way of doing it would be to have these walls extended some arbitrary amount upwards. Can you do fill from this? You can. And it does it with noise. Okay, that's easy actually then. I'll just select all the retaining walls between the things. I'll extend them upwards and then put, in fact it's only literally just these, isn't it? That. It's like this wall. Actually this wall's actually one of the more awkward ones, the diagonal's going to be awkward. Finding the main gaps between each flat. Sure. Right, so walls, do I want it on walls? I guess it's technically walls, isn't it? So that's the last one of its type there. So this is one flat going all the way to here. Oops. Okay, and then... Wait, is that really that small of a place? It is, isn't it? Bill... Fill... That only goes as far as there. Fill... Fill... I'll have to do that one manually later. And the other dividing line is here, isn't it? Fill. There'll be another manual one needing to be done here, but that's also fine. Okay, so now I just remove the bits I can see. Oops. Okay. It's kind of fun trying to think laterally for some of these puzzles. Like this is by far the easiest way I could do this, rather than having to go inside, figure out what the walls are relative to each other, and doing it all manually. There we go. So actually if I remove this I can... So now the dividing wall is here. And over here. Sure. And do the same again. Okay. Nice. Did it enough, apparently. So now if we save that, get rid of this, go into first person, and have a look, see? We should find that in the attic. There's now dividing walls between at least each house. So they all have their own roof bit. Some bigger than others. Jeez, this is a big one. Should probably convert this into another floor, frankly. People are unlikely to go and ever see it, though. That's the thing. Anyway, I've hit the 2-hour mark. That was a good amount done. In fact, I'm intrigued to have a look at the start of the stream to see how far 2 hours gets you. I have a feeling it's going to be disappointing. Let's have a look. Where did I begin? Just winding back the VOD to see if I can find it. So I hadn't done... So I think I've done a fair amount, actually. I hadn't done the bottom of that one, and I'd gotten to about here. Oh no, a bit further, more like here. So I hadn't done the bottom of that one. So I did the bottom of that one, I did the upstairs and downstairs of all of these. 2 hours of my life. Jeez. Damn. Well, I'm going to call it time there. I may work on it separately, but yeah. That's another one for the records. And I'll be back sometime, as always. Cheers all.